why was the grown-up kid reflection not showing in the mirror? Because he might have sold his soul to the devil for his music.
If you cross that line, you might get sent somewhere else.
That's like Bridge to Terabithia.
Yes. So, you know Katy Perry accidentally killed the nun?
What the fuck?
Yeah, in
Ow.
2015.
But when he came back, he had long fingernails and long teeth.
Yeah.
And he had blood all over his mouth. Sun will rise with me. Bag it. Ready?
Yeah.
This is why I put it at the end of Filipino Spider-Man Wrath. Because I know the sun will rise. So I pulled a prank on my sister last night.
Do what?
So we watched Sinners, right?
Oh, no.
Last night I came home really late. I think I came home at what, like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
I came home super late.
The fake blood.
No, that's not even what I did.
What'd you do?
So in the movie in Sinners, vampires, right? They're not allowed to just like walk into the place, walk into any building.
Yeah.
One of the lore aspects of a vampire, or the rules they have to abide by, they have to be invited to your home.
Oh, okay.
So in the movie, in the Sinners movie, there was any vampire that tried to come in, they had to be like, can I come in? Can I come in?
Okay.
Like, why are you asking that? Why are you asking
they
that?
would only allow it if they let you in.
So last night at 2 a.m., I went to my house.
Oh, and you actually asked.
Yeah, I opened the door, and then my sister's like, yeah, come in.
Yo.
I'm like, yo, can I come in? Can I come in? And she's like,
what do you mean?
Wait, yeah, come in. What are you? And she started getting scared. She's like, I'm scared. And she watched it with me.
This is the crib, bro.
Yo, she watched it with me.
Yeah.
Bro, that was probably one of the best films so far in
Really?
2025.
Yeah.
Easily.
Which
And
is
I don't
great.
miss on movies.
Yeah.
I don't miss on movies, bro.
A lie? I didn't watch it because obviously it was during Holy Week. So I'm like, I'm not trying to see a movie that's named Sinners during Holy Week, right?
Yeah.
So like, I'm just going to wait till the week's ended and then probably watch it this week. But it's so funny because of TikTok, I know all of the flirty ass lines. The one that,
from Haley?
Haley, yeah.
Yeah.
I know every single one. So like when I see it, I'm already gonna know the lines.
That was the craziest I heard Haley Steinfeld speak.
Fam, yes.
She was saying some dirty stuff, bro.
What was one? It's like you stole trains or something. Can you steal this cooch for a night?
Yeah. Oh my god, bro.
No, yo.
She said like early. Yo, she said one early into the movie too. She said something like, "Oh." No, I can't even say it. It's actually crazy. But she's like, you did this and that, but you can't do this and that and that.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? You know what I mean?
Oh,
I thought you changed your mind. She said something like that. I don't want to say the exact line because it's like obviously terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know what to just say out loud.
Not PG-13.
But it's interesting to see like her characters she usually plays are PG. You know what I'm saying? Like good girls.
Yeah.
And then you see this, like, damn, this is a switch.
You think it's for sure getting the Oscar? Because like right now, Rotten Tomatoes 100%, bro. You crazy? Like
They just had the Oscars. I mean, it just started.
yeah,
right?
I know,
Like,
but they came out with a bang though.
there's still gonna be a lot of movies that didn't come out. So I don't know.
That's true.
I don't know. If
But
I
you
can,
rated
it's not the
something at
greatest
9.5?
ever.
Oh shit!
It's not the greatest ever.
Really?
Relax.
Okay.
It was definitely not like.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's better than like Dune,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
it's definitely good. Like you
Okay.
should definitely watch it.
Bad. Yeah. Is there any
so-
theories?
Yeah, I have hella theories to
Okay.
talk about. So one of the theories, this was really interesting because we actually talked about this story before.
Oh shit!
Remember I told you that story about Robert Johnson, the first guy to ever sell his soul?
the playing the guitar.
So there's a theory that Sinners, the whole story about the musician, the kid that was playing the music that attracted all of the demons and all of the vampires, theory is he is based off Robert Johnson. He even dresses like him. Look
me
at this
see.
picture.
I can see that though. Like that's the main story about selling your soul. So why not use him?
Look, I'll show you. This is a picture of Robert Johnson.
Let me see.
Boom. And that's him right there.
Oh shit!
And his hat was always tilted like that.
Really?
Yeah, fam.
Okay.
Always tilted like that. So at the end of the movie, and this is a big spoiler for anybody that hasn't watched it yet. But pretty much when he goes back to the village he's from and the town he's from, he's playing his guitar in the church. And this is the end credit scene. Not a lot of people notice
This is
it.
the one I watched.
Because there was 2 different end credit scenes. Now, I have a theory for both.
Oh, okay.
In the second last end credit, you see Stack and Haley's character walk into the bar.
Okay.
And they sit beside the kid.
Yeah.
But the kid is now old because this is like way into the future, right? But if you look closely, there's a mirror in front of them.
Okay.
And obviously, Stack and Haley are vampires. So you're not gonna see the reflection in the mirror because they're fucking vampires. But why was the grown-up kid reflection not showing in the mirror?
He's not a thing yet.
Because he might have sold his soul to the devil for his music. Now check this out. In the end credit, the last final one, he's in the church playing his guitar. And there's a slight look at the very end where he looks up. Now theory speculates that was him looking at the devil and deciding to use his music, because the whole dilemma was his father, being a preacher, was telling him, you gotta choose one or the other. You gotta choose if you're with God or you want to keep playing the music, because the music's gonna attract the devil. And him playing his guitar in the church, that's him saying, like, I'm gonna choose music anyway. And when he looks up, people say what he looked up at was the devil himself, where he decided to sell his soul. And that's why later on he became so successful. Because in the future you saw he had like a huge music career. And then you don't see his reflection in the mirror, bro. So he might be something else.
That's the only scene I saw, because that's like the whole theory going around. Like, he looked up, but we didn't know who that was. So like the main theory was the devil. And then right before that, before the ending scene, remember when he got waterboarded? That was a metaphor for like unholy baptism. And then right after, it was the end credit scenes where he looked up at the devil. So it's like he did kind of choose.
So that's what people were saying. A lot of Christians that were against the movie, they said they felt weird about it afterwards. And there was one guy specifically, he said like he claims his spirit felt unsettled.
I've seen so much reviews for that.
He said something was telling him not to watch it a third time. He watched it twice, but something told him not to watch it a third time.
Why would you watch it 2 times in the first place?
Yo, it's a good movie. That's why I look, you want to watch it again. But now there's theories too. The music that was playing in that one big scene.
Really?
It was a big scene where the kid was going crazy on the guitar and everybody's dancing, everybody's having fun partying, right? And what happens is, they say it in the movie too. They say that the music was so good, spirits from other realities or other timelines would emerge and dance with them and party with them because it was that impactful and that, I guess, satisfying to hear.
That's crazy.
And they also say, and this is part of the whole lore, so the beginning of the movie, they talked about how there's certain people in tribes or even in any sort of community, I forgot the exact term they would call them, but they were the entertainers that played the music. It would create healing for the community, but also what it would do would attract the evil from everywhere else. Because they're enticed just as much as the people that are enjoying it, right?
Okay.
Now, this where it gets interesting is they're saying like the music that was playing might have been, casting certain spells or hoodoo or whatever you want to call it, right? Because that was the whole theme of the movie.
Yeah, if you want it to be real, then you have to kind of use that type of music.
There was a character in the film, and her whole, I guess, purpose was she was like a hoodoo magic. Yeah, she was like a witch.
Damn.
And, and she was doing certain spells and stuff to protect people. Now, if you guys want to get technical, she did certain rituals and protection things for some of the characters, including herself, but it didn't work. Now, I'm gonna leave that up to interpretation. But my sister, later in the movie, there's a scene where I think his name was Smoke. I think it was Smoke.
Like the two main characters, right? Smoke and whatever.
Smoke and Sack. Those are like the two brothers, the twins, right? Smoke had like a necklace, and it was called like a mojo pouch or something. And she put some like special incense or whatever. It's like a blessing to keep him protected. And he was lying on the floor like this, right? And the vampire was gonna bite his neck, but stopped. And then later, my sister said, when we watched that scene after the movie, my sister said, "You know why he stopped? It was because of the pouch, because of the thing that's protecting him, right?" And I said, "No, it's not. It's actually because of the silver he was wearing. Because you know how vampires, they can't deal with silver. Right? Now check this out. Do you know why vampires hate silver? It's crazy. It goes to the Bible, fam.
No, I don't.
So the reason vampires cannot be around silver, and that's their weakness, is because it dates all the way back to an original evil in the Bible with Judas when he betrayed Jesus. How did he betray him?
Fuck, I don't know.
for 30 pieces of silver.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn.
So they say because Judas betrayed Jesus for 30 pieces of silver, evil is cursed around silver. So and silver itself is supposed to be a very pure, healing sort of metal that they use, and they always think of that. It's pure healing.
Yeah.
And they pretty much call it like kind of holy. So that whole mythology of it came from that. It literally came from that. That's why vampires, werewolves, they get killed by silver. That's one of the only things, right?
Yeah. That's crazy.
So listen, it's really cool how they added all of those little details, like including the vampires can only come in if you let them.
Yes.
And I think that whole thing about that's because if you think about it, you can only let evil in. It can't just like grab a hold of you. You have to allow it in yourself.
It's true.
You know?
Yeah.
In the same way people talk about, how do people get possessed? Or how do people fall into deep evil?
Yeah.
They have to open themselves up to it for it to allow to even come into you.
If you don't believe it, then it's not gonna come.
That,
I mean,
that, and it's almost like a temptation thing, right? And you know how we talk about like demonic, I guess, forces. What they do is they can't, for karma, they can't just do something to you. They have to make it your choice to do it.
It's like gaslight you into thinking.
Like if I poison an apple and I tell you, here, take the apple, it's okay, I would get karma because I tricked you. Yeah. But if I tell you it's poison and you decided to take it anyway,
that's your choice.
It was your choice. And that's even more dooming because you still betrayed God or betrayed whoever, right?
That's true. Did you bag what Smoke and Sammy was wearing? I think there's a hidden detail with that too. I mean, not really hidden, but it's just like a detail. It's like the red and blue. Yeah. It's like they gave the people choices. So it's like what we were talking about. You have a choice to let these demons in. Red pill, blue pill. I mean, but I gotta watch that because I know there's way more.
The whole thing with twins is interesting too. Yeah, I was trying to figure it out right away. Like, why the fuck are they twins? Because Ryan Coogler, the way he directs movies and writes movies, he puts things in on purpose. It's not just gonna be by accident. And most directors do, right? Yeah. But I was thinking like, how the fuck? And I'm really searching and like reaching for a theory. Yeah. The only thing I could come up with is you could say both characters, it didn't turn out well for them. Well, one character did, kinda. Yeah. Yeah, he had a good ending. But the only thing I could think of is especially Michael B. Jordan's character, what's his name? Stack? Yeah. The one that turned into a vampire. The only thing I can tie it to like twins would be like he played himself twice. Oh, okay. You could say that. Yeah. So he played himself twice. Oh, okay, okay. Because what happened was he died because he got tricked by the vampire. Yeah. And then after, when he was gonna be like killed by his, I can't even spoil it. Yeah. Sorry. I know.
To be honest, I already saw half the thing, so it's like.
I don't want to spoil it. Yeah. But when he's about to like be killed, he decides to still be a vampire. Word. So that's playing himself twice. Damn. I don't know. I'm reaching there. But I don't know why twins. I actually don't know.
I don't know. I'm just ready for like you know how like later when the movie like finally marinates with people, how like the director will come out and say, oh, we put this detail in like so it could be way more real. Like maybe they actually, you know, the music they played, that shit was, they're gonna say, oh, confirmed, that was actually real. They tried to summon spirits in the movie. Yeah. Like, you know, that scene in the Poltergeist where the girl was swimming with the skeletons, the director made sure it was real skeletons. Oh, wow. So she would actually be like shocked. Oh, and shit. It's because what do you call this? Like real skeletons were cheaper than actual getting fake skeletons. Oh, so, actually, yeah. So they're crazy. Like, let me just put these in. It'll get a better like reaction out of her, and it'll be cheaper for the movie. Word. So I'm ready for Sinners to come out like, yo, all this was real. All the vampires were actually real.
I heard actually, the reason it ended up becoming twins was because originally, you know Jonathan Majors?
No, who's that?
You ever watch Creed 3?
Oh yeah.
Creed 3. So he's the villain in Creed 3. Oh, Ryan Coogler directed Creed 3, right?
Oh, shit.
But what happened to Jonathan Majors?
What happened?
He got dropped by Marvel. He got in trouble because of like a allegation and all of these things, right? Yeah. So obviously he couldn't really use him anymore. So theory was the other brother wasn't supposed to be a twin. It was supposed to be Jonathan Majors and Michael B. Jordan, which would have made a lot of sense too. Which would have made hella sense. But who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
I
Right?
mean, it was good still, right?
Regardless, it's a fire film.
Exactly,
Regardless,
yeah. But I don't like how it's like the whole timeline of everything going around, like the Pope dying, right? And then boom, during Holy Week, like the movie Sinners comes out. Like, what are they trying to tell us with that stuff?
That's definitely on purpose.
That's what I'm saying, because it's like, remember we always talk about how movies will usually portray the timeline of what's going on.
Yeah.
It's like,
what do you
yo,
think it's trying to portray?
I don't know. I feel like it's like they're trying to throw everything at us now. It's like, because remember, you even said this, the Pope prophecy.
Yeah.
How it's like the last Pope is supposed to be Pope Francis.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, that's crazy, because if Judgment Day is right after, Sinners is coming out, they're throwing all this out. Like, what is? Maybe they are trying to tell us.
I
that.
think it was definitely set to come out around Easter, just because of the name itself too.
Yeah.
Just because of the name itself too, it ties.
It'll get
yeah,
more
like
views,
it actually has
yeah.
weight to it coming around. Obviously, if there's Christian themes in the movie,
Yeah.
and it's a Christian holiday, it's gonna be like, oh, let's put our attention to that.
That's true. You know what's really fucked though? I saw that like right after the Pope died, already like less than 24 hours, they started like betting polls on the next like Pope. So like right now, if you look on it, there's like the whole pot is like $4 million bet on the Italian one, and then the second one is the Filipino Pope. Like
I think the Italian one's gonna win because it's always been Italian, no?
Yeah, I think so.
Or am I wrong?
I don't know, to be honest, but yeah, the whole betting thing is crazy. And even when Pope Francis like went to the hospital because he had an infection, they started betting and it went trending just because it's like, oh, are we gonna get a new Pope in 2025? It's so crazy. It's like,
yo, I heard too.
Yeah.
Way before he passed away. I think it was like 4 months ago, something like that.
Oh, like the news didn't come out yet, but he already passed.
Yeah, he already passed.
Yeah.
Like, and then the news was supposed to come out on another day. It was supposed to be. Wait, when was the day it was supposed to come out?
When?
I think it was supposed to be like March.
Word.
But it didn't come out.
Yeah.
And people were waiting. Oh, what the hell? It didn't. And then all of a sudden, boom, it happened.
Word.
Wait, when was this news out? April 12th?
It was like
21st.
Yeah, a week ago, right?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know why now, but the news kind of already hit that he died
Exactly.
way earlier.
But they didn't want to give it out yet.
Why do you think they do that?
I have no idea.
I think it's weird that it happened after Easter they announced it. I think that's weird.
Maybe they just didn't want to disrupt like the Easter celebrations.
See, this is the thing that I didn't like about Sinners, and this is pretty much the stuff that a lot of the Christians hated about it, was the scene where they're doing the baptism.
Okay.
He was praying, but he was still like getting messed up
The last
by
scene.
the vampire. Yeah.
Okay.
One of the last scenes.
Oh, yeah.
Now, what they didn't like was, first, it was mocking a baptism. And then two, it was trying to say like prayer doesn't have power, which isn't true.
Yeah.
And that's what they're trying to mock, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you want to time the Pope prophecy or the Pope death to this too, it's trying to say somebody of obviously high faith just died. You know, so it's like weird to say that right after Easter.
And then saying,
It's weird to say that right after
fuck, that's true.
because the way it lines up. I don't know.
Yeah.
To say someone with high faith just passed away. Like, yeah, it's interesting.
A lot. And the Katy Perry holding up the daisy. I heard that that was like her daughter's name or something.
Oh, really?
And it wasn't really demonic. I'm like, but maybe you never know, because the backstory you gave about the daisy was actually legit. So I'm like,
no, that was actually real folklore.
So maybe that's like a double entendre, fam. It may have
Who
been
knows,
the daughter's
bro?
name.
Who knows?
But dog, there's always hidden messages, bro.
Yo, I have details too, because you know how vampires, they hate garlic, right?
Yeah. So garlic and silver they don't like.
So garlic, silver,
Prayer.
and like crosses in general.
Yeah.
And a wooden stake to the heart will kill vampires. Now, you know the origin of all this shit though?
Nah.
It's crazy because like
Of a vampire?
of like all the garlic and the strategies to kill vampires, fam.
We just did it.
They straight up they believe vampires are real in history. It's not even like a Bigfoot thing where we never caught one. They caught vampires. They actually caught vampires, or at least claim to. And if you go and dig up certain graves right now, and it's stated in history, they did this. Some of the graves were filled with bodies that had a stuffed mouth of garlic.
Damn.
And the reason being because garlic was considered something very healing and very anti-evil to ward off evil spirits because of all of it. What it did, it pretty much destroyed disease. It helped fight against, like, let's say you had a fungal infection, you could put garlic there and it would kill it. Now, obviously using it as one of the only herbal medicines back in the day, they seen it as something of spiritual significance, right?
Yeah.
So there was a story of the first vampire.
Okay.
Let me get his name.
Yeah.
So this is literally the first account of a vampire ever. His name was Petar Blagojevic.
Okay.
This is in Serbia.
Yeah.
Okay, 1725. So what happened was he died. This guy died, and his body disappeared for like 8 days, and he came back. But when he came back, he had long fingernails
What the heck?
and long teeth.
Yeah.
And he had blood all over his mouth. So what does that sound like? It sounds like a legit vampire, how we see in the movies and all of that, you know? So this is the first story that actually inspired everything after.
Word.
What happened to this guy? Who the fuck knows? But what they did with the body, they took wooden stakes, stabbed it all over his body. So that's where we get that from.
The wooden sticks.
Right?
Okay.
They filled his mouth with garlic. That's where we get that
so it's
from.
just one guy.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's legit one guy that they didn't know what the fuck happened to him.
Yeah.
And they did all of these different I guess rituals to kill the evil.
Yeah.
Buried him and we're like, what should we call this guy? Damn. Oh, vampire maybe?
My God.
And that's what they call him. So Petar Blagojevic. And this is in Serbia. And this was the first documented vampire outbreak in Europe ever.
Damn.
Legit ever. Oh, also, it says he actually tried attacking certain people. And what he would do when he was in this feral state, I guess, he would press up against the people. He didn't try to bite their neck necessarily, but he would just like press up against them and I guess just try and attack.
Okay.
But maybe the idea of drinking blood and all of those other things, people say came from other folklore because the idea of a demon eating baby's blood was always very popular back in the day. Very, very popular. So to add it to what he became and turned into, like, because you can imagine if something happens and you have stories of something before, something brand new happens, you can only relate it to what you already know. So they're just adding, this checks the box. Maybe this one checks the box. You know what? He's probably this. And just added it all together. Yeah. And that's where you got the first vampire.
Word. Where was the, like the castle of Haska?
Yeah.
Is that also near No, that's not Serbia, right?
No.
That's like England?
I forgot where that was again.
Yeah.
No, that was in, was it Switzerland? No.
I don't know. But also gargoyles are supposed to, like, the things on top of the buildings? Are those supposed to be like, you know how like the gnomes thing, where it's like you put a gnome there, so it's like a real gnome will be like, oh, never mind.
That's interesting. Yeah. I think so. Originally, what they're supposed to do is scare birds.
Oh, okay, that was it?
Originally, yeah.
Okay.
But it is interesting because maybe it is.
Yeah. It's
maybe
like,
the reason to put it.
There's already someone on that building. I'm not going to go there.
Yeah, maybe the reason to put it is so it actually wards off any other demons that would want to lie on there or plants on there, right?
In the condo, you actually brought one home. I don't know if we brought it here, but you.
Oh, the dragon?
You brought home one of the. No, it looked like a gargoyle, right? Or was it a dragon?
It was a dragon.
Oh, okay, it was a dragon.
I do have gargoyles though. How do you know about those? Huh? I never showed you
I
those.
just had a feeling that you had something like that.
I do. I have like 3 gargoyles in my backyard.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like statues? Like one of these?
Yeah. So one is the see no, speak no, and hear no evil.
Okay, that's hard. That's
hard.
hard.
It's pretty cool. But they're gargoyles. Yeah.
Yeah.
But my mom made me put them in the backyard because she's like, yo, these look evil.
Yeah, don't put them in the house.
Yeah, don't put this in the house. Put it in the backyard. So they've just been chilling in the backyard.
You know what I found out too? Like this crazy detail. You know Katy Perry accidentally killed a nun?
What the fuck?
Yeah,
How?
in 2015. So like back then, like there was like 2 nuns that stayed in a church. So that church was like, they were doing like masses in there. But once they left, only 2 stayed. So Katy Perry, she's like, oh, I actually want to buy this real estate. Like I'll give you hella money for this. It was a crazy number. I think it was like 14 mil. The nuns were like, nah, this is holy. Like we're not going to give it to you. So boom, she goes there herself. I think it's in LA, one of the churches in LA. She's like, yo, look, I have a tattoo of Jesus. Let me sing you a couple songs trying to convince you to sell it. Nuns were like, nah, Even the nuns even tried to go to millionaires to sell it for even more, like 20 million, right? Katy Perry was pissed. She went to like the head of the Catholic Church and snitched on the nuns. So they're like, oh, they're not selling me it, but technically they actually don't own this property because it's the masses, right? So boom, they go into a crazy legal battle in church, and then during that court case, one of the nuns got so stressed, just dropped dead.
Damn,
So
because she was stressed out.
And people were like trying to accuse her
Of using witchcraft.
No, of just like causing so much stress and indirectly
Killing her?
because
Damn,
if they didn't go to court and she didn't have that court case, they needed to get more money from it, bro. She's not stressing about nothing.
That's sad.
Yes, bro. She wanted that shit so bad.
Wait, what was it exactly she wanted?
It was real estate. So it was like the building that the nuns lived at, the church.
So it was a church itself.
I think so. Yeah.
It wasn't like it was land too.
It was land and a building on it.
And this is where in California?
California, yeah, LA. And I'm like, what the fuck? Yo, if you don't 14 mil, that's crazy. Why did you want it so bad?
Why did she want that land?
Yeah, fam. And now she's holding up the daisy, bro. I'm telling you, that's not her
Theory,
daughter.
there's something spiritual significance on that land that she wanted.
Probably.
It's not just the church.
So when we were young, we used to dream about being anything. The president, an NBA player, or an astronaut. But as you get older, your dreams change, focusing less on running the world and more on how you can take your skills and ideas and turn them into something real. So instead of dreaming of going to space or owning your own castle, maybe you start dreaming of owning your own business. You'll need a website, a payment system, a logo, and a way to advertise to new customers. It can all be overwhelming and confusing, but thankfully, that is where today's sponsor Shopify comes in. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the US. From household names like Mattel and Gymshark to all brands getting started just like mine, Pretty Boys Track Club. So what if I can't design a website? Shopify's got you from the get-go with beautiful, ready-to-go templates to match your brand style. What if I need a hand? Get help with everyday tasks like enhancing product images, writing product descriptions, or generating discount codes with Shopify's AI tools created for commerce. What if people haven't heard about my brand? Shopify helps you find your customers with an easy-to-run email and social media campaigns. And what if I get stuck? Shopify is always around to share advice with their award-winning 24/7 customer support. So turn those dreams into and give them the best shot at success with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/jumpers, JUMPERS, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/jumpers, shopify.com/jumpers.
Yeah.
Because, usually they build churches on top of saints. Did you know that?
Really? No, I didn't.
So almost every Catholic church has a piece of a saint's body part if they're named after them.
What the heck?
You didn't know this?
No.
Really?
No.
Yeah, so including I forgot what church it is exactly. Usually it's a piece of them.
So if the church gets broken down, they dig it up. You can dig it up?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So depending on the name of the church, you know how it goes like St. Matthew,
Yeah.
St. Paul, whatever,
St.
right?
Peter.
St. Peter. So St. Peter's Basilica?
Okay, yeah, I know
Basilica,
about
sorry.
that story.
St.
Yeah,
Peter's
I know
Basilica?
about that story, but I didn't know it was for every saint.
What's the story?
I think I told this before. They dug up the actual body of St. Peter's right beside the church.
Yeah, it was under it.
Yeah, under.
Yeah, so they never proved it, and they always thought it would be until they finally dug it, and they found out, yeah, his body was there after all of those centuries.
Word.
Yeah, like he was legit there.
Yeah.
Now, I've been to the church. I forgot exactly where it is. I think it's in Quebec somewhere.
Yeah.
But the straight up body and the burial ground is there of a certain saint, and that's why they named the church after him.
Yeah.
But if there is another church that's named after another saint,
Okay.
usually they would take like a piece of their body and bury it underneath it.
Yeah.
Or they would bury it first and then build it on top.
Okay.
And the reason St. Peter's Basilica was built there was because that's where
He
St.
died.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty sick still.
Interesting,
Yeah,
right?
interesting.
And what's even more interesting, in the Bible, I don't know if you know about this. What does Peter mean in like Hebrew, you know?
No, I don't.
So in the Bible, Jesus told Peter, because his name wasn't Peter right away. His name was Simon, remember?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Before he became Peter. Jesus is like, Simon, I want you to build my church on this rock.
Yeah.
That's what he said in the Bible. I forgot the exact line, but that's what it is. And then also, I'm gonna change your name to Peter.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna call you Peter now, right?
Okay.
Check this out. Peter means rock.
Oh.
So when Jesus goes, I want you to build my church on this rock. And then his name is Rock. They built the church on Peter, fam.
Oh.
On Peter stuff.
On Peter.
Yeah.
Oh, I
On
did not know
Josh.
that. On Josh. No, that's crazy. You can't be saying shit like that.
No, but that's actually what happened.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Like it's in the Bible.
Word.
That's what Peter translates to. Like it means rock.
Yeah, yeah.
Something like that, I think.
Word. Because you know how we always said like that we saw when like we were in Hawaii, every like time we were out like on a mountain and shit.
Yeah.
We always said Denzel Vincent, right? The weirdest thing. But I'm like, yo, what if like real shit, like maybe there's a theory or something. What if the spirits there, like the haunted ones, actually just keep hearing this name and then like they're actually confused on what it is? You know what I mean? Because Forrest, like especially when you wanted to go see the Night Marchers, I recently found a story too where it's like, I don't know why we never talked about it. It's called the 411 cases.
No, I never heard of it.
You've never heard of it?
No.
So there was supposedly a bunch of people that went missing in a certain forest and like mountains.
This is why?
No, not just like in general. So like they say that never go into a forest, like a big field without a satellite phone. And that's where all these people messed up at because it's like this specific like area that they all tried to climb at led them in different ways. It was like the map was changing while they were
Oh,
in
it was one of those locations, Bermuda Triangle
Yeah,
where
type thing.
it
Yeah,
just messes
yeah.
up their GPS.
Yes. And then so one of the main guys was called Aaron Hedges.
Yeah.
So this guy was like,
I
yo,
heard that name before.
Yes.
That
So
sounds so
yo, it
familiar.
was very popular. So this guy knew
Yeah.
I think he was elk hunting in Montana. So on the Montana mountains, he knew the area so well that he didn't need a map. Like he was so confident, right? So him and his two boys went camping, and then he even set up like checkpoints where he would have like have food. He would have like sleeping bags whenever he needed, right? And he would obviously he didn't need a map. So 2 days went by, everything was blessed. The third day though, they had walkie-talkies, and he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna go to one of the checkpoints and go get the food." Right? So like, okay, just call me if you ever need help. Aaron goes, mind you, this guy's professional at this map. Yo, he goes and he's like, "Yo, I'm gonna go north." On the walkie-talkie they have coordinates. The guy said he was going north. On the walkie-talkie, he went the opposite way.
Yeah.
And then, bro, his friend tried to go look at and find him. Fam, the guy's boots, cigarettes was all that's left, and his body was gone.
Damn.
And there was a person. See, this is where the theory comes in.
Yeah.
Because there was a person that said that he found a portal in the mountains, and like how trees might act as like a portal. So that's why so many people went lost. So here, I'll show you. It's going viral. It's like 4 million likes. He's hiking. Look at how the trees are set up though. So he's saying these two trees are like a portal, and if you cross that line, you might get sent somewhere else.
That's like Bridge to Terabithia.
Yes. So that's why the people so much cases. They're like,
Oh, it looks like a pathway into it.
And the trees look way different than the others.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like, yo, if I walked through that, maybe I would have got lost.
You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of Suzume. You ever hear Suzume?
Suzume? That's a girl's name?
It's a girl's name.
Yeah.
But it's the name of an anime movie that came out I think 2 years ago.
Nah.
But pretty much the premise of the story is there was a door in an abandoned field. I think it's a factory.
Okay.
Just surrounded by water. And if you open that door, you open a portal to like another dimension. Who knows where it goes, right?
Yeah.
Now, that whole story of Suzume and the door portal, that was actually based on a real door.
Oh shit.
Like there's a real Suzume door somewhere in Japan. And it's around I believe it was like a destroyed, I forgot exactly what it was. Like a destroyed factory or destroyed like facility.
Imagine on accident you walk by that.
And there's a big pond. It was like a shallow pond. And for whatever reason, it was just a random door, like just still standing.
What the fuck?
Yeah, the only thing that's still standing in the middle of it was this door.
Damn.
It's just, and that's what they based the movie off of.
The anime, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
So all that lore and everything came from just that door that's just randomly standing there.
Word.
And people say like, I think kids would go there and like open the door,
No.
walk through.
No, they're actually playing with fire.
Yeah.
No, you don't do that still. That's crazy.
Because I think most of like folklore, that's usually how it goes. I can imagine me just playing with my friends back in, let's say, elementary school.
Yeah.
We go and we're like, yo, that looks like a dragon. We're gonna touch that rock. Boom, 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 right? Eventually, what happens is we tell this story to all our friends, the whole school knows about it.
And it manifests.
Kind of manifests, and when we tell our kids those stories, it'll continue on, be bigger. Broken telephone, it'll start adding more to it.
So now it
You'll
becomes
start
an
getting
urban legend.
yeah, and it starts adding more accounts to it. Like somebody else saw this there. Yo, he did that and that happened.
Yeah,
and all of a sudden, all of this lore like stacks up, and boom, it becomes real.
Yeah. Do you think maybe that's like that's how urban legends are literally made?
Yeah,
Like,
for sure,
it's
for
like,
sure.
It's like it's not even real until we make it real. Because I seen some like podcast clip where it's like I think it was Joe Rogan where some like scientist was saying, oh, your brain is so delusional. Like if you think you can manifest this, it plays out 2 different lives and you just choose which way to go now. Something like that.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe we can kind of create our reality in a sense with the things that we can control.
Yeah.
Every day you're kind of crafting your story, crafting what you see. Like if you were to think of life as a movie,
Yeah.
you're playing out the movie and you get to decide what happens in it. You know those games where it's like, yo, choose this, choose that,
Which one?
and then it's gonna play out Telltale.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Telltale games, I think like Walking Dead. And literally you meet new people, go, oh, this person remember that if you told them this, or if you do this, you're gonna hang out with them later or whatever.
Right.
In the same sense, like we're doing that, bro.
Yeah,
So
real
you
same.
control your reality in one way or the other. But to bring it onto another level of if you can control things you don't even or even aware that you're controlling.
Yeah.
Like for all you know, you could be dictating how big events happen based on your brain.
On your brain. Yeah.
Like how you feel about things happening. I don't know.
Yeah. Do you like back then you remember how the library had those like games that you can just rent out for free? Do they still do that or no?
Yeah, library still does
Oh
that.
really?
Yeah.
I seen a statistic where it's like Coachella recently found out, you know, the buy now, pay later type thing.
What's that?
So like stores like Shein will give you like oh, you can buy this and then you just finance it. It's like you can finance this shirt.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've seen that the number one like thing that's like dooming
Being
us right now
financed?
is the financing because men's like restaurants like Chili's is even like you can pay for your food, like you can eat your food and then just finance the food later.
Yo,
Uber Eats, DoorDash is now doing that too.
the craziest shit I seen like that.
Yeah.
There's videos and TikToks of it. Fam, I forgot exact count that posted.
Yeah.
But there's a woman that gets like a nice ass car, and the guy on the TikTok is like, how much you get that for?
Okay.
And how much down? And she paid like 2,000. And how much per month are you paying?
It's bare.
And it's like, oh, like I think she pays what, 100 something a month? For how long? And it's like hella long. Yo, it's for like 50 years, bro.
50 years, 100
She's
a month.
paying that one car off for 50 years. And everyone in the comments like, yo, she got scammed. She sold her soul for that car.
Real
She sold,
shit.
but she doesn't realize it because all she sees is minus 120 coming
yeah.
out of her bank account.
Yeah.
But that's for 50 years.
Exactly.
Of minus 120. And she eventually would be paying what? Like, let's say $100,000
Yes,
instead
bro.
of just paying like 40K.
Yeah.
But the people don't really see that, or they're quick to just be in tune with what's in front of them rather than what's happening like later down the line.
Yeah. That's why the weird statistic I saw at Coachella, 60% of people finance their tickets.
Really?
Like, just for a festival, fam. And it was crazy. Like that's how you know, like, another recession indicator is for sure the ice bucket challenge, fam. Because why are we going back to that shit?
To
man?
2020 or no, 2015 actually.
Yes, bro. And then like one of a marketing guy, like a business tech guy, said strippers are the biggest indicator of a recession.
Yeah, I
You
heard
know
that.
why?
I heard that.
Because it's like the consumer spending, like the wants and needs now the wants you don't really spend on it, and like the number one thing is strippers. Like people are not gonna go
That's
and
completely
throw
just for
money
fun.
just for fun. You know what I mean?
But also clubs. I would say clubs
Yeah,
is
clubs
a good
too,
one
for
too.
sure. Yeah.
And I think that's why they made that movie Hustlers. Because
yeah.
they made that movie around not the Great Depression, but the 2008 economic depression.
Yeah.
Yo.
That was the whole movie. Like the clubs were doing shit, so you have to find another way. Yeah.
And the strippers were the first ones to, I guess, feel the pain of the depression.
Yeah. So is Nora another one of those ones like, oh, recession coming, strippers aren't doing? Wait, strippers?
Yeah, it was
strippers
about
weren't
strippers.
really doing their good in Nora too. So yeah.
I
were
know. I
kinda
think they were doing good.
No, they weren't. Because
think they were
remember the
doing
first
good.
scene, they're like, oh, I gotta work.
But I think that's supposed to be based in like our year, no?
Oh, I guess.
Like 2024 when it came out.
Maybe, yeah.
It seemed like they were doing good. Like,
I guess.
Like Vanya was balling. Fam.
Yeah. Another recession indicator is lipstick. I didn't know this.
Lipstick.
But so when a recession comes, lipstick sales increase actually. Because now
why?
people don't want to spend on the big luxury items. They still want to spend on the little ones that still make you like pretty and stuff like that. So lipstick is like, you know what I mean? It's not that expensive.
They actually go up, really?
Yes, they actually
That's
go up.
interesting.
Yeah, so boom, they'll put it on. Oh, it makes me feel good. I don't have to buy this fucking full glam set. Just let me buy one stick of lipstick. Still makes me happy.
So the full glam sets would go lower?
Yeah, for sure. Because it was
Really?
way more expensive.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
interesting. So the one small product would go up, but the
Yes,
other
fam.
ones would go lower.
So Rihanna, yo, I know she's about to come up with more Fenty lipsticks once the recession hits.
What do you
bro.
think? How do you think video games are affected by a recession?
Oh, video games? I feel like
Do you think people play
I feel
more?
like they play more low key because it's like, oh, you can't get a job, so it's like, what are you gonna do? Just go home and play video games all day.
Yeah, if you want to get technical.
That's what I'm saying.
Or does it mean
Arisu
people are working more? Oh no, that just means
No,
people can't get jobs.
Yeah, in a recession, like people can like there's also a job, like, what do you call this? Very thin opportunity to get a job.
Sorry?
There's
What?
very thin opportunities to get in jobs in recessions. No,
Yeah, maybe, I think people are losing their jobs. Okay,
Yeah.
that means more people are at home
at
watching
home,
shit.
exactly. Yeah.
You, want to get technical.
Yeah, Netflix sales, boom.
You want to get technical.
Real sick.
YouTube goes up.
Oh my god. for
Everybody
sure,
starts
bro.
watching YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
2020. No, COVID wasn't really a thing, but people were at home.
No, that was
A
a
recession?
yes, fam.
Really?
Bro, nobody was working. Of course, it was a recession.
No, they were still working, but it was just like at home, remote.
a lot of people lost their jobs, fam.
Oh, that is true.
A lot of people couldn't work. I was a lifeguard. I couldn't go work.
Fuck, you're right. You're right, bro.
Yeah, that's like the biggest like economic depression we had in a long ass time.
What was the lifeguard thing where you actually have to knock out the guy to save them? What was the code that you said?
Wait, what?
Remember we were swimming and then my boy is like not the greatest swimmer. So he's like, yo, if you go deeper,
Oh, no, yeah, that's
I might have to
protocol.
go." Carlos literally looked him in the face and said, yo, I'm gonna have to knock you out.
Dog, that's protocol. If I'm trying to save somebody's life
Yeah.
and we're in the water and he's tearing me down and
Yeah.
drowning me too, I'm trained as a lifeguard to knock you out or get you off me and then save your life.
Am I?
No, because what's gonna happen is you're both gonna drown.
That's true, yeah. Because if he's trying to like wave and shit, like it
Yeah,
kinda
like if he's
distracts you.
grabbing you like this and taking you
Yeah.
down with him.
But like a
That's
knocked out
dangerous.
body is like he's very calm.
Yeah, exactly. like I just knock you out and then take you out of the water. You're fine, bro. You're fine, fam. It's just a little headache.
You know, in the I think it was Creed 3. This is whole method acting. The guy, what's the main guys again? Stallone,
Rocky? Yeah.
Rocky. He told that big ass Russian guy to actually hit him in like the big punch
It
scene.
was Rocky 3, not Creed 3.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Creed 3, my fault, yeah. And then once he hit him, I didn't know this. He was sent to the hospital for like 9 days because of
Damn.
like some like a heart issue. So
Oh,
he
shit.
actually hit him so hard that he got sent to the hospital.
Yo, I saw a video of Sylvester Stallone. He was showing pretty much all his accolades and he had like a trophy case and stuff, right?
Okay.
And he comes out and he takes this glove and he said, "This is the glove that we used in Rocky."
Yeah.
And he says, "I keep it because it reminds me of a time when things were harder."
Oh.
And
Okay.
if you look at the glove, fam, that glove did not have no fucking padding. People died fighting with those gloves.
Yeah,
you know
I
that?
remember that. I remember that.
A lot
on
of people
one
died
case.
fighting with those gloves. So he was trying to explain like that was from a time where people chose to do things and still did things when it was harder. Nowadays, it's different because he was saying how you can have wheels on your luggage, You can have an automatic driving lawnmower, and it's easier. But what happens? Because it's easier, people are weaker.
Yeah.
So
True.
that whole cycle, and I think Joe Rogan said it the best. He was saying, easy times create weak men.
Mm-hmm.
And then weak men cause hard times, right? Because if you're weak, it's fucking hard. And then hard times actually create strong men. And then strong men create easy times.
Also, so it's a whole cycle.
Yeah, and then easy times again create
Weak men.
weak men. Because it's easy.
Yeah.
So if you're down on your luck or if you're like, man, shit is hard right now, just know it's gonna make you strong.
But at the same time, it's like, yeah, like I've had those moments before, and I'm like, at that point, like you really want to crash out, but at the same time, it's like you just have to do the stuff you enjoy. Because I feel like Taekwondo is the main thing that saved me. Because whenever I was stressed or I was mad, if I just punched or like kicked the bag and did like patterns, I'd feel so much better. It's literally like just distracting yourself. You know what I mean?
And I think the biggest thing to really be on the lookout for is when you're faced with a challenge, try to understand why you don't want to take it on. Because a lot of times we see a challenge and a lot of people are like, I don't want to do that. And I hate that shit. Like, okay, but why?
Because I think I know why. It's like they're either scared to fail or it's like they don't believe in themselves enough to complete it. So that's why they delay it.
But if that happens,
then you're just gonna create another problem in the future. Yeah.
Right? Like if that happens,
Yeah.
then you're gonna go to another one, another issue that's just as daunting or maybe even less daunting.
Yes.
And what are you gonna do? Are you gonna overcome it or just let
Alive.
it, just be there for you and not?
Yeah.
And you just, I feel like every no you do to a challenge,
It's another.
it drops you like a level.
So right, gang.
Every no you do to a challenge, it drops you like a level lower.
Yeah.
Because you think it's like a subconscious thing. Like, man, I can't handle that. Boom, you just dropped one level.
Yeah.
Man, I can't handle that. Boom, I just dropped another level. You got to take on those battles when they come.
And if you like create momentum and you build up that confidence by doing the hardship first, then the easy stuff is like, bro, this is a breeze.
Yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean?
what I learned right away.
Yeah, momentum is so important because I remember I did all these tasks. Like I wasn't scared to like call people and ask because like sometimes I'm scared to ask people and like all the time I tell me the closed mouth doesn't get fed. So I'm like I keep telling myself that. Boom, I was no longer scared to ask people what I want. And then once that broke again, and then I went back into that same shit like, oh, I don't know if I should ask him.
Because it's comfortable, right?
Because it's
you like being
comfortable,
comfortable.
bro.
Yeah, you like being comfortable.
yo.
You like just chilling.
The real shit, man. I'm like, yo, this is just life, man. That's life.
And I feel that's like bro, there's a good story I want to tell you, but I can't talk about it. I'll tell you off camera.
Yeah.
But I think that's low-key the devil, fam.
Yes, fam.
That's low-key the devil. Because if you want to talk about sins and the deadly sins, one of them is sloth.
Yeah.
And that's the one
Like being lazy.
a lot of people don't realize they're in, or it's too blinding to even notice. It's too blinding to notice.
That's true.
Because what does that look like?
Yeah.
You don't really look at it. You're just in it. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
You don't really get to see it happening. You're living it.
Yeah. Greed, like you kind of choose to be in it.
Yeah, like you can kind of see whether you want to do it or not.
Exactly.
But when you're in it, you're literally in it.
Yeah, sloth, like, yo, it's happening in real time.
Yeah, you're like, you know what I'm saying? Fam, what does a sloth look like?
Real shit.
Moving slow as shit, right?
Like, who was sloth in the Sinners? I know there was one.
Nah, they didn't have all of.
Oh, they didn't?
They didn't put all of the.
Really? I
Yeah.
thought that was like the whole point.
No,
like,
no.
the main
That was just the
theory-
name of it.
Oh, okay. I thought that the main point of the movie was we're gonna put this symbolism of the 7 deadly sins in the movie Sinners.
No, the whole point was to bring back the
Vampires?
vampires. Yeah,
Damn.
which is cool as shit.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was always a fan of vampires. I honestly like vampires more than zombies.
Maybe, yeah. Also, like, you know how I said that they were creating stuff that was being extinct? So, like, the woolly mammoths, the dire wolves. So, like, maybe they're bringing back vampires to show, like, oh, yeah, there's people out there trying to recreate the vampires. You know what I mean?
Not gonna lie.
Like, you know how we had a clown pandemic? What if
Yeah.
there's a vampire pandemic now?
Yo, vampires could still be real.
Yeah.
Vampires could dead ass be
Oh,
real.
yeah, the Uber driver.
Yeah.
Yo, she definitely watched that and be like, gotcha.
No, like that ass.
I get it, bro.
I straight up think vampires could be real, fam.
Yeah.
I straight up think vampires could be real, bro.
Word.
Because look, you talk about the Illuminati, we talk about all these celebrities, they're drinking blood and shit. What does that fucking sound like, bro?
Yeah.
Sounds like a vampire.
Vampire. That's true. Fuck, I just backed
Sounds
that.
like a vampire, right?
Yeah.
Now check this out, theory. Have you ever seen a celebrity party that has garlic bread?
No. I don't know. I've never been.
Because vampires can't eat garlic.
Garlic
fam.
bread, fam. Fuck. But
And they
garlic
drink
is in
fucking blood,
yeah,
bro.
but garlic is in a lot of meals though. Maybe it's like
But look at the meals they're eating. It's usually like, what, sushi?
that's true.
Where's the
fam.
garlic?
That's true.
They don't
W
fucking
theory.
eat garlic because there's vampires, dog. That's why they look young.
Real shit.
That's why they look young. They're
Yeah,
vampires.
100%.
Pharrell is definitely a vampire.
Oh yeah, this guy
fam.
does not age, bro. Even in the Kanye movie to now,
Mhm.
bro looks the same.
Yo, so there's one more theory too about Sinners.
Yeah.
And they tackled this on. This was pretty much like a big statement that they were trying to portray in it.
Okay.
Was what's dangerous about music is that it attracts evil. And usually, oh my God.
What happened?
You know how we always talk about how the devil manipulates people with music?
Yeah, that's the main thing.
So in the movie Sinners, the guy that was playing the music,
Yeah.
the main vampire, the one that actually went back into the sky. I'm going to talk about that later.
Okay.
But the whole theory on that is he, in the movie, he actually says, I want your gift
What does
to
that mean?
the musician.
Oh, okay.
He says, I want your gift. Why does he want his gift?
I don't know.
So that he can continue to trick other people to join the vampires. Because that's the way
Oh.
he was attracting people to come and hang out with them. And I guess make like a big statement
Yeah.
was with the music, doing the singing. And that's what attracted more and more evil. And every time you saw in the movie where they're dancing and singing, singing, more and more people would show up every single time it showed on camera.
Yeah. They were like brainwashed into following him.
Yeah, they're brainwashed into following it.
Fuck.
So in the same way the devil uses music to manipulate us in real life, obviously nod our head back and forth about demonic shit and lyrics,
Yeah.
it's shown in the movie how that works.
That's true.
It's crazy.
There's also a picture of I hate keep bringing up Ariana Grande because
Mm-hmm.
she's like the main person that people love to like nitpick. But there was like a picture of her where you know how like the whole demonic face syndrome
Mm-hmm.
was like a real thing. Like people's faces start turning into demonic, like sharp objects.
Yeah.
So there was a picture I'll show you, and it says don't like zoom into it. And then I zoomed into it obviously because I wanted to see what it is. And her face, like zoom into her face, it kind of looks like all pale and all like sharp.
Oh, it looks like
and I-
contrasted.
real
yeah,
sick.
yeah.
So I'm like, what the
But
fuck?
she'd been looking a little bit
Yeah, but look at that
different
though.
lately.
Look at that. That doesn't even look like her.
Cheekbones popping. fam.
Cheekbones popping, dog.
She looks like handsome Squidward, bro.
I know.
Okay, well, I have one more theory for Sinners.
Okay.
And this is a big one.
Yeah.
Because not a lot of people bag this in the movie.
Yeah.
But the first time we see the main vampire
Yeah.
appear on screen is him dropping to the ground.
Word.
So literally the first time you see it, he's dropping from the ground and his skin is burning, right? Now, we see later in the movie that he can float and drop. So obviously, he was probably flying away because of the people chasing him. But the theory is that in the movie, the vampires, especially that one,
Yeah.
was a fallen angel.
Oh, because he dropped down from
He dropped down from heaven.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's kind of crazy.
So that's what happened. He
Yeah.
dropped down from heaven. And he's a demon that fell.
Fell from-
He's an angel that fell and a demon that fell. That's why vampires can float, because they're angels, bro. They just fell.
Word. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So later in the movie, when you see him being killed, put into a big fire, usually the Holy Spirit is what? Fire.
Yeah.
Right? It's symbolized by fire. And swirled around, and it goes back up.
I didn't, yo.
Because it destroyed him and went back up. Boom.
Yeah. Damn. See
Crazy.
now that it's good that I know all these things, so I'll be looking out for it when I watch the movie, and then I don't have to like watch it 2 times. Like I'll know it when I'm going.
Okay,
in.
so last detail, ready?
Yeah.
So you know how vampires, they're scared of what? Garlic,
So wooden
silver,
swords,
wooden
silver.
sticks, and obviously the biggest one is the
What?
sun.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh, the sun was coming up, right?
The sun
when
was
he was
coming
doing the holy baptism.
Yeah, the sun is coming up. Now check this out. You
What
ready?
happened? Yeah.
Obviously, the sun is the source of life, so that's one thing. So creation comes from, a lot of it comes from the sun. life-giving source of life. There's a famous painting by Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah.
And it's a painting depicting Jesus.
Okay.
And he's holding like a glass ball, right? Now, usually every single painting, including the Mona Lisa, bro, there's never any mistake to shading or reflection. That's one thing they studied about Leonardo da Vinci. He doesn't mess up.
Okay.
But there was a mistake in the Jesus one
No.
where he's holding a glass because the light is supposed to be depicted from somewhere else the way it's hitting his face.
Yeah.
But the light was hitting the glass ball as if it was coming off of him.
No.
So that way, he was depicting that the sun is Jesus.
Oh, that's fire. But that's
Yeah.
that's not a mistake then.
It's not a mistake, but they thought it was.
My goodness, that's hard.
He was cooking, bro.
That's hard.
He was painting that shit. But bag it, like the sun, because he is the sun.
Oh yeah. That's
Sun,
fucking
right?
tough.
Isn't that
That's
sick?
tough. I'm not gonna lie. He did that. He's like, yo, they're gonna love this one.
And that's why I did that in the ending of Raph when I did my film.
Okay, what would you do?
The ending song, you know what it was?
Wasn't it a Drake song?
Yeah, it was a Drake song.
Yeah.
Lord knows.
Oh, okay.
You know how it goes?
No.
And I know the sun will rise with me. Bag it. Ready?
Yeah.
This is why I put it at the end of Filipino Spider-Man, Raph, because I know the sun will rise with
The Filipino
sun,
flag?
First off, the sun,
Yeah.
the Filipino flag has a sun. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's Filipino. The sun will rise, right?
Okay, yeah.
And obviously, him rising as a hero because of the sun rising together, fam, for the grind.
That's hard, bro. That's
How I
very
put it at the
hard.
end of it. Yeah.
I just realized too, like the song that I was listening to right before the podcast. I think it's called "On My Way." When the Drake says, "We were in the crowd, face to face," or something like that, and it's like, I know your kids are at home. Tell your husband I'll be back in the morning," or something like
Yeah.
that. That was all for Kim. So that was another subtle hit.
Diss?
Yeah, because
What song is this?
On My Way in the new album. I know you don't like the new album. You probably haven't heard it.
Oh,
But
okay,
I'll show you after. Fam, there was like a scene in the Drake's concert when they were like face to face in the crowd, and then boom,
Kim Kardashian.
yeah, Kim Kardashian, because he went to Drake's concert. So boom, later on, he wrote that and crazy like shots. He was like, I know the kids are waiting at home. Tell your husband you'll be back for breakfast. So fucking it's
Damn.
on the level of like crap down the block. It's
That's
another one of those,
crazy.
fam.
That's
It's another-
crazy. Man, I don't know how I feel about those
I
ones.
know.
I don't know how I feel about those ones.
I know you hate those ones still. Come
bro.
back to me, Kimberly.
Did you see when Kanye texted Drake recently?
Nah, what is it? Yo, Kanye's been on a roll, gang. What does he say now?
He texted Drake, did you F my wife?
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what
he
he
did.
Yeah, he
Oh,
did.
then yeah.
You seen that text?
No, I haven't, but then that makes sense.
And then Drake goes, bro, I haven't even met Bianca yet. And then he replies, and then Kanye goes, and you never will.
Yo, Kanye, the way
Yo.
you text is so funny, gang.
Wait, did I send you that video of him talking to the Make-A-Wish kid?
No.
I didn't send you that?
No.
Oh my God, okay, watch
Wait,
it.
Make-A-Wish kid?
Yeah,
what
yeah.
the hell?
There's a video of Kanye and the Make-A-Wish kid. You haven't seen it?
No, bro.
Oh my God. Wait, watch this.
No, man.
This shit is so funny, bro. Watch it.
Are you nice?
Am I nice? I'm probably better than you.
Okay, watch. Look.
What you mean better than me?
I just got more lyrical skills than you.
Yo. Watch.
I'm in the sixth bed. I thought that by now I would be dead. The nurse is bringing me stuff. I know she trying, but man, I think soon I'm gonna be dying. When I was sick, it was bringing me chicken noodles.
Watch his reaction. Watch his
If I
reaction.
wasn't dead by now, I would shout. Man, I lost the flow. Make-A-Wish kids.
Okay, wait, hold on. I'm gonna fast forward. Look at his reaction.
I'm not gonna say no to a Make-A-Wish kid. But I mean, if it was no, it'd be like after he died or something.
No. That has to be a
And then
skit.
all the comments are saying, the one person, Kanye hated the kid
Yeah.
because he acted how Kanye would
What?
act. He acted how Kanye would act.
No, but that's so because he did
He
do that.
acts like him.
Yeah, in the documentary, he went up. He's like, "Yo, I'm gonna rap in front of you, fam."
He acts like him.
Yeah.
Like, I'm probably better than you.
He was like, "Wait a minute, I say that, not you." That's the worst person to see if you're a Make-A-Wish
That's
kid, bro. Holy fuck.
crazy.
But that's a real life lesson, though. Usually people are insecure of people that you meet because, like, oh, you kind of remind me of myself. And then it shows you, like, your insecurities in yourself, which is why you hate that person that you met.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen it before.
Wow.
And I met a couple people like that hate me off the rip. It's because I guess I remind them too much of themselves, or like I do stuff that that shows like, well, what's that Kanye line? It's like my cockiness comes off as confidence or something like that. Like, you know what I mean? But it's like at the same time, that's how you want to act. You can't do it, so you're jealous of me.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I could see that. I could 100% see that. I think the only way to break that, though, is you love every aspect of yourself, including the weaknesses.
That's true. Yeah. Because once you're comfortable with every part of yourself, I don't think you can get insecure with anything.
You have
so-
to understand why those weaknesses make you you.
Yeah.
Because you know how there's a light and a dark? One cannot exist without the other. So your strengths may have to have weaknesses to carry
Yep.
so that you can be that person to have those strengths,
Yes.
right? Maybe if you don't have certain weaknesses, you wouldn't be able to have that part of you.
Yep.
Like you wouldn't be able to, who knows, have that mindset without these flaws.
Yep.
So for example, overconfidence can seem arrogance.
Yep.
You know what I mean? A weakness is arrogance, but it comes with the confidence, right?
Yes.
So there's like a good and bad side to it, but one cannot exist without the other.
That's
You
true.
just have to understand it.
Oh man.
What would you say like you have that you look at your own weaknesses, but you embrace because
Embrace.
that's what makes you stronger in another way?
Yeah, probably empathy because I see everyone in all parts. Like I'm not gonna judge someone based on, oh, you're being like, oh, say like you're narcissistic. I don't give a fuck. Yo, that's you. You know what I mean? I can appreciate you and I can kind of change how I, you know what I mean? I can change how I approach things and maybe one thing you say to me might get me mad, but no, that's just you though. I can understand that. Yeah, but at the same time, it can also come as a weakness because then it's like, oh, my me being nice can come off as, oh, I can control this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's like, yeah, it's the playoff.
Yeah, it's the play. It's a give and take.
Yeah.
It's a give and take. And I think I think when I see, let's say, somebody that has traits of myself.
Have you ever run into that? Like you felt like somebody was like very very hesitant to talk to you, or like they kind of hated you a bit because you remind them of themselves, or like, you know what I mean? Like first interaction, you already felt bad vibes.
I always confront it though.
Oh, that's crazy that you do.
Is it?
Yes, because I usually see it, but then I'll talk shit later. You know what I mean? Like I'll understand it later, but I never confront it like at the start.
Because if I confront it,
yeah, then you figure it out right away.
no, because if you confront it, somebody wins.
It's true.
Somebody wins the interaction.
It's true.
But that's my like competitiveness. Like
so crazy.
that's not toxic though.
No, it's not,
That's
it's
not
not.
toxic. I would say it's like non-fearful, right? It's like non-fearful.
Yeah.
If something isn't right or sitting right, you have a choice.
Yeah.
You can either put an effort that might be a lot of effort to make it right, or you can close your eyes and walk away. Both ways are not wrong.
Yeah.
Both ways are not wrong. Both ways have their own pros and their own cons. You walk away, it might have saved you emotion,
Stress.
energy, stress, who knows. You confront it, it might, it could turn out bad, maybe cause a fight, maybe whatever.
Yeah.
But the pros, you confront it, like I said before, a challenge you
High
overcome,
risk, high reward still.
right? What's a pro of walking away?
Walking away.
Safety, who knows, whatever, comfortability. But you get to choose.
Yeah.
And every day, those decisions are dead ass right in front of you. So you get to choose, you want to do that one or you don't want to do that one. And every day you make a decision, you're closer to becoming this person or that person.
That's true.
And what makes you unique is you have a set of choices and paths you've taken that nobody else has.
Yeah. Damn. As a kid, do you think you knew you were gonna be the person you are now?
Yeah.
Really? Like you like had that vision of you, or okay, word.
Yeah. I never.
Yeah, word. Me, not really, but it's like I went through the motions, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I still have like the morals in me, but at the same time I feel like it was still like I'm just gonna go through the motions. When a choice comes in front of me, that's when I'm gonna choose where I go. You know what I mean? I didn't have a like, oh, I was gonna always be this, you know what I mean?
But that's how that's how it starts. But
Yeah.
I think for me, the reason I say yeah isn't because I was so sure. That's not why I say yeah. But it was because I would look at myself in the mirror like, I want to change this, so I'm gonna do the work that makes me that. You know, it's not like, oh, I'm this person, blah 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 blah. No, it's not pretend. Like I'm gonna see what I don't like about myself. I'm gonna work to change that. And because I'm changing it, that's why I become it. So it's not a surprise. In that way, it's not a surprise.
That's fact.
If you look in the mirror and like, oh, imagine, I'm gonna do this and this and this, and then not do shit.
Yeah.
Of course, you can be fucking surprised if it happens because you didn't put in no work, and you're gonna feel like you don't deserve it.
Yeah.
But if you put in all the hours that you fucking deserve, then there's no way you can look at yourself back and be like, man, I'm surprised. No, you put in the time. How could you be surprised?
Yeah. I feel like that, the undeserving, that word undeserving is very like prominent in this generation because we have a lot of shit very easy. Like even the education system, I seen like this year was like the last year that old style is gonna be applied because of all the technology. So it's like if you're using ChatGPT to get your degree, you know what I mean, you kind of feel undeserving. I mean, social media, you make money off your phone. It's very like easy at some points, but it's like, damn, you kind of feel like undeserved of it. But, you know what I mean? I feel like that's a battle a lot of people go through.
Do you think it's gonna doom everybody's mentality?
Maybe that's why,
Because
like
they don't feel like they deserved it.
Exactly, and the weak people, the cycle repeats, fam. You know what I mean?
What do you think is gonna happen with all that? Like, let's say there's no challenge.
Yeah, like
because
what?
it's all ChatGPT.
Yeah, then what do we do, fam? Because like the whole point of life is like challenges and overcoming them. So it's like,
I guess we're just gonna look for deeper and harder challenges, or we don't look for the challenges because we like being comfortable. It depends on the type of person. That's
true.
That's all that matters. It just depends on the type of person.
That's true.
Because for some people, they thrive and their passion is just challenges, overcoming challenges. That's why people do puzzles. That's why people do hardship. That's why people climb mountains, right?
Yeah.
And some people, their thing is they like chilling. They like just hanging out. They like just doing stuff that's calm.
That's true. And you can't judge the person for doing that.
No path is wrong.
Yeah.
It's just, what do you want, right?
That's true.
It depends what you want.
Yeah, man.
But I feel like a lot of people now are just gonna want to just chill.
Yeah, which is crazy. Weak men, weak people. Don't chill. Chill if you want to. I can't judge still. I do it.
But there's like pros and cons of both though.
Yeah, there's bare, but it's like whatever you want. You know what I mean?
Because honestly, the pro of chilling is you have peace of mind.
Yes,
you have peace.
super peace of mind. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the con of that is you might not accomplish everything.
And you feel undeserving.
Yeah, the things you wanted to do, you didn't do.
Yeah, and then
but on the other side, the opposite side is you
work
don't
so
have
damn
peace.
hard. Yeah.
You don't have peace and you don't have rest.
But you feel so deserved.
But you feel
of everything.
yeah.
So it's like literally whatever you want in life, that's where you go, man.
But what's the perfect balance of that? What's like a good example of like a perfect balance?
Perfect balance. Is there a perfect balance? I don't think so.
There has to be.
I don't think so.
You don't
it's
think
like,
so?
I don't think so because you have to commit, right? Because if you choose peace, then you're already locked in.
No, but you could still like, let's say, who's it? Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
That he takes a whole month away from acting.
Yeah. But that's just a month though.
No, he takes a whole month and doesn't use his phone. He literally goes into the wilderness.
He detoxes.
Yeah. He does not contact anybody and he's just alone.
So but how long is he working though?
Probably the rest of the year.
Exactly. But that's only a month. So is that really balance?
It depends on the person.
Yeah.
Depends what they need. I feel like balance is determined on the person themselves.
That's true, yeah.
We can't really say like, oh, he's unbalanced.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know how he's feeling.
Facts.
It's hard to say that.
Yeah,
It's hard to say that. Like, I can't fucking put myself in his shoes.
We're not
right?
therapists. Yeah. You know, my friend has 2 therapists, and he always tells me like he has to because he likes seeing the differences and advice they give him. So like one of them, he has a guy, right, and it's more of like he mansplains everything, right? But he still stays because it gives a new perspective of things. And then the girl is more empathetic. So he gets like a balance of both. But at the same time, it kind of mixes him up because it's like he'll go to one therapist and he'll mansplain it, and then the other therapist will tell him some completely
and he's
different
confused
thing.
now.
Yeah, now he's confused.
Shit.
But he does that because he likes figuring out which side he likes better. So like at the end of it, he's gonna choose one.
I never thought about going to therapy, but like
I feel like everyone should, like, you know what I mean?
That brings us to our sponsor. Better. I'm playing.
No, but in a way, I've always said that your therapy is probably this podcast because
You think so?
Yes, because you dead ass just get to talk. In the time when we were in COVID and we couldn't talk to nobody, and your main thing is like, yo, let's go to this motive, let's go out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You
I get
didn't have
stimulated
that,
by
yeah.
like doing things. Yeah,
You didn't
you're
have
right.
that, fam. It's like the energy that you had from like episode number 1, fam, hasn't changed, and I'm very surprised that hasn't. Because
Really?
like you get bored of shit so quick. So I'm like, yo, the fact that we're at like 2:30 and you still come on here every day, like same shit. Like it's still like I feel like we haven't done 2:30 because it's like
It doesn't feel
feels
that
the
long.
same. It feels the
that
same
long.
every time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yo, you know what? I deadass have a theory
Yeah.
about like why I might be talking a lot.
Okay.
Straight up, if you think about it, in the Philippines, what's their favorite thing to do? Sit around and drink and talk.
True, yeah.
And
sing,
talk.
sit around, get
Our
drunk.
ancestors, fam, were definitely just sitting around, drinking, and talking. Probably just like this, with different vocal inflections.
Yeah. That's it.
Straight up, it's probably the same
Yeah.
shit. So my ancestors are probably not podcasters, but
Yeah.
entertainers in their own way, entertaining their homies in speech.
Yes, bro. I've never been to the Philippines yet, but like I want to see you in that setting, like when everybody has that fucking red drag or what's the
What's it called?
red horse,
San Miguel?
the red horse,
yeah.
and then the peanuts in the mud, and the elements are just super.
Yo, but I don't speak Tagalog though.
No, but like at the same time, all my cousins
speak English,
Yeah,
yeah.
we
You're
did
right,
that
you're right,
before.
you're right,
That
you're
little ass table that you're around, the plastic chairs.
Because my dad told me something.
Yeah.
And because my dad doesn't usually do that,
Okay.
very seldomly.
Oh, really?
But there was this one time, it was a couple years ago, and he had, I think, my Lola's sister's like husband or whatever. And he was just relatives, right? They're all older than him, and then he had like his friends over.
Yeah.
Not my dad's friends, like
Oh,
the
okay,
relatives' friends. Cool? Boom.
Yeah.
They're doing the same thing, drinking, having fun, blah, blah, blah. And then my dad says, okay, it's time to go. And obviously he's a fam jammer, heading back in the car. And he tells me something. He goes, you know what's crazy? Because he doesn't do it often, right? When I left the Philippines, I did all of that in the Philippines. I haven't done this in a long time. But the conversations and everything were the exact same. The same conversation, the same like type of jokes, the same, you know?
Yeah.
And in a sense, how you say like that's therapy,
Yeah.
that's low-key therapy for people, you know?
Yes, fam. Second home, third home type thing. It's like, yo, you don't have those fam jams no more, but like when you're with family, it's like comfort, bro.
And you kind of need that to,
Yes.
you know?
Like when Drake
Just
says, I need this.
Yeah, you need to do that to be in your environment or to
Yes.
be, I don't know, in tune. I think that's a good calibrated in tune.
Yeah. Isn't that kind of just nostalgia too? Because like sometimes like in the Philippines when you were small, people did that. Your dad probably did that and missed it. That's why it's like therapy for him now. It's like nostalgic.
What do you think you do now that you always liked doing as a kid, or is there something you left behind?
No, I think I always do.
everything?
Yeah. But the number one thing is just like shooting a basketball by myself. That's
don't do
so
that anymore?
therapeutic. No, I
Oh,
do.
you do that
Yeah,
now.
whenever I need it to, it's like very therapeutic. Just me, gym, basketball. That's all I need.
Word.
One of the most like, oh my god, it's literally like therapy.
I could see that, and you always have to leave on a splash.
Yes, man. Yes. What do you do? What do you do?
That I do.
Yeah, that you think
Bro,
is therapy.
too much.
Oh, too
I
much.
can't even like this too much.
I mean, movies is
literally
kinda-
everything I do now, I used to do as a kid.
Which is good. Yeah.
One thing I don't do anymore, I guess it's in a different way. I used to like
Make stories.
Shadow Clone Jutsu. Okay, I'm gonna go and save her. You're not getting past this. Pop, pop, pop.
You do
You
that
think
though.
you can still get me? You know what I'm saying?
You
Like-
do that though. Like in movies, that's what you're kind of doing.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So it's like in an indirect way of like doing it, just not a childish way. Because there's no way I walk into you and you're Shadow Clone Jutsu.
But low key, that might be fucking therapeutic.
No,
Who knows? That might be fucking therapeutic.
I can't
for me.
judge still if man's doing
Damn,
that,
bro.
yeah.
What if I actually start doing that?
Yeah, but what you know?
What if that unlocks like crazy? Yo, actually though, what if going back to this?
Yeah.
Will unlock some next creative ideas for films and
That you forgot.
Oh my god, I might actually do it. I might actually do it. No joke. I might actually
I
do
used
it.
to do that with the wrestlers. You know how like you had the figures and the
Yeah.
little ones? I used to do every one of those.
But back, like, see how I went straight into a story?
Yeah. Shadow Clone Jutsu.
I'm gonna save her, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying, though? Like, high-key, if I start doing that a lot, I'll come up with stories and like, wait, this is a good plot.
Yeah, that's like method acting, fam. You just do it. You just try and put yourself as a kid again.
Because doing that, I was straight up in flow state.
Yeah.
I was in flow state in like 5 seconds. Yo, straight up. It was like turning on a switch. I was in flow state, I promise.
This guy's about to rap 3, rap 4, rap 5 based on these. Hey, man.
That might be my flow state
No,
trigger,
really?
bro. I just solved it. I just solved it.
Your eyes went bright, fam. That was funny.
All right, thank you for watching this episode of Jumper Jump Podcast. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff.
I'll go down to Spotify, Apple. Keep downloading those episodes. Give us a 5-star rating. We love you guys, man.
And yeah, if you made it to the very end of the episode, I want you to comment your favorite Pokemon. We haven't done this in a bit. And leave a like.
Yes, sir.
Leave a motherfucking like. We need more likes on the video. We need to be shown on the algorithm, y'all.
Facts.
Trust me. You guys make a big difference. Thank you guys for watching Jumper Jump Out.
Deuces.